come back in the form of that Loki, I think that could be huge for them.
Nice little old farm to start this one off for Groot. Yeah, NLE, the guy that we're on board with right now, really has turned the tide of this game. At least as soon as he joined the server, a completely different game was being played. Now, you look at the position that we're in. NLE fired up, ready to go. We know his Strange is nuts. ASD, just wait till they push up to a point where those squids are seeing them. That's going to be unbelievable with the bonus from Felix. That team up in play. Neko, though, is really where my eye is drawn to. He's waited all day to play this hero. I want to see what he's got planned for now. Already losing NLE. Huge pick from guys playing in here on the Squirrel Girl. That's going to be the first.
Gonna try and catch them in a trap. That's Fun in trouble, but they should have the focus of the healers to sort of keep him alive that little bit longer. Obviously, the other tank has already been lost, and immediate usage, I believe, is the portal as well, just to bring NLE back into position. I think even switching away from that group just to have those extra shields versus this Squirrel Girl.
The thing is, someone like Happy here might have a relatively easy time flying around doing that damage. There's not a lot to shoot him out of the sky. It's going to be a team effort to try to deal with him. The shots, though, landing with the acorns, dealing so much damage, moving towards that ultimate being online again. It's a big push-up from Ripasuko, shield in hand. He's trying to claim the space for his squad. He's got the heals with him as well. They are just firing those shots in, but then the ult comes as the heal goes offline. The dive is in as well. And that is surely the end indeed of, well, most of the squad. Sure, Happy goes down, but he'll be right back into the fight. And they have very much delayed as intended.
That was the goal, just to try and slow down as much as possible. I think we even saw the Fate of Both Worlds come in 3 times, courtesy of Loki. That's the benefit. You can bring that ultimate through again and again just to almost bait them into using theirs with your first one, and then have it a second time to make sure that you're getting mass amounts of either heal or damage boosting. It really does make things that little bit tougher, and obviously this gives opportunities to set back up when you have a combination of Namor and Loki. You might be thinking that's not a direct team up, but it does mean you can have basically little minions stacked up all around the map just firing off at opponents.
The Stampede is in, but not much to be found as a result. That, though, invisible boundary should cause big problems. The fact that they have to, well, give it up. Can't really fight through that as ASD is attempting to, only because 1% away from the ultimate. Here it is now, online and ready to go. It floods in the water. It will be fired right in to take the kill, and that's one healer down already. Luna Snow dropped and dealt with. Big push up as well from Fun, taking the kills easily, and the heals coming in from Felix make it impossible for any sort of a response there for Rejects.
I wonder if we'll see at any point that sort of switch back up to attempt the dive. Like they've got the ability to have that Venom online if they so desire. It was something they were running in the previous days that was so valuable for getting them space. The problem, though, is when you have Eye of Agamotto online, you don't really want to be switching away from having that hero available. For now, though, they are running into a brick wall. 30 seconds yet to even make it to that first point, and there's still opportunities. I'm looking at Loki again, having the ultimate available to be stolen, but that's huge. Happy gone immediately.
Yeah, but that is it. The Luna Snow will pop is going to buy them a little bit of time, hopefully, for the rotations to come back in. The dive up against this squad, they haven't been able to deal with ASD. He always has that get out of jail free. Big dive in, though, by November 24. Picking up one, it's Felix down. That's been a big part of the healing game for their squad, certainly of the ult game, and now there seems to be nothing much that can be done. Halo's hitting it to the checkpoint. If it doesn't, I will be incredibly surprised. There's a player or two that could dive in, but only seconds to be bought, if even. The ult charge they give might not be worthwhile. That is the checkpoint reached. 1 out of 3, 2.5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, that came down to the wire. It's scary when the first point becomes that difficult, knowing that, again, it normally gets more and more difficult for the most part as you go along. Even still, though, looking at Ripasuko alongside that duo of JT, they were deadly in those first 3 maps of really pushing that front line and then giving space to someone like November 24, who's done exactly what his job was, immediately just clearing out that back line, attempting to do damage with the dance of the butterflies, but It's actually going to be that response from the likes of Namor, and actually a lot of damage coming through from LNE. He, again, just seems to find so much value from this Strange.
I don't get it, man. I keep looking at fights and thinking, oh, okay, well, this one's basically done, right? It's just maybe you fall back, maybe you're eliminated, but that's it. That's the question that needs to be answered. And NLE, he pops up and lands 3 kills a lot of the time. Phenomenal, really. How this guy is not just being fought for in the starting lineup. I think today that might change. Big play as well. You can see that Flo has been eating damage into those players, dropping down abilities and just making it impossible for them to continue that fight forward. Fun falls, and the rest of the squad very quickly follow suit. The attacking side making ground halfway there.
Yeah, this is looking much faster than what we saw on the previous point, where they had a fair few more struggles. I think as well, not a particular amount of ultimates online. Again, I'm looking at the opportunity for Loki with the God of Mischief to pick and choose what ult would be viable in this case. Fun up close, does have clobbering time available. If they can combine it well, that could be an opportunity. It is going to be Lunar Snow falling, and then in the backlines, you have Flo gone as well. This is those strategists fallen, and that means everybody else has nobody left to help them. Fantastic work with mere seconds left on the clock, and now Happy does what Happy does best. Get right up in that front line. Don't allow anybody to get even remotely close. And unless we're going to see them almost full sprint or pull out the portal, it is the portal.
Yeah, Horn of Proteus online though for Namor. Galactic Legend just now farmed up by Happy, and of course on the side itself, Luna Snow not going to let anybody fall by the wayside. This is a strong position to defend from in the overtime. There goes Aya Bagamoto as well. And of course, it's NLE to really tip the final domino. Galactic Legend comes in as these players are completely isolated, and overtime comes to an end. That is a statement from Euphoria. They don't allow the second checkpoint to be reached, and now that is their goal. Touch that checkpoint, and it's all over. The reverse sweep is theirs.
It's been a journey. Let's put it this way. 3-0 down. A change up of not just composition, but of players. A switch up of bans to disrupt what their opponents are doing. They couldn't deal with the thing Magneto, but they have found ways to battle and brawl versus anything else that was put onto the table. We're starting to see some of those star performers really come online. For the side of Rejects, it's definitely going to be a tough fight. Not an impossible one. Like as said, the one thing you can give credit to this roster for, if anything else, is their ability to be clutch. Well, let's put it this way. Up until this point, they didn't really need to be. It was all in their favor. Yeah. It was all on the table for them to take things over the line. Now we have to wait and see if they can find their footing at the very last moment. It would be one hell of a story to take the victory away from their opponents. As you mentioned, a team that was made up of finalists from the last tournament, but maybe not going to be the victor once again.
Hey, at least they'll still be finalists. There's always that.
That is true.
But from here, yeah, it needs to be a clean and clinical conclusion to this one. There's the mural of the spiders, but there is a battle within their ranks. We're not going to get to go all the way to the Weaver today. We won't see the web of life and destiny, but we will certainly see what it has planned for these teams. Rejects, they need to hold strong. Stop Euphoria, the clear favorites in the tournament. Here and now, every choke point has to be a massive drain to the clock that is in their favor. They find the opening pick to start with, but it is just one domino that needs to fall. A small snowball at the top of the hill, and it can do a lot of damage at the bottom.
I like the idea coming out from November 24, just basically throwing down those squids to try and deal with any of the strategists in the backlines. That's exactly what he's done again. Second player picked off, just trying to make it more difficult for those aggressive Vanguard players who won't have the support of their healers because of what he's able to do in those back positions. That's something that I definitely think Euphoria are going to have to adapt to, because he's been consistently getting into those backlines early in the map.
We saw Loki try to use the doppelganger to get away, but even invisible, you can't evade the eyesight of ASD. The crosshair is on you, and it delivers every time. Big push up now. Coming close to ultimate online. There it is. Ripasuko just found the Eye of Agamotto. Unlikely to be used this aggressively. Great shield as well, offering that little bit of protection. Here's the push up. The chance to put into play the Eye of Agamotto if things get a little dicey. The dive straight into the healers. And unfortunately, the kills are going the other way. The first domino has already toppled.
What's he gonna do here? I'm just looking at the fact that, again, we see that Galactic Legend available. If there's maybe one of the strategists a little bit too far ahead, that could be a problem. Instead, though, actually, if they portal past, that will actually leave them with that Star-Lord behind them. They might not even realize it because you wouldn't expect somebody to be in this position.
There we go. Deshanti unleashed the Eye of Agamotto in play. JT with another Ripasuko. The tanks are putting up numbers. It was ASD to draw first blood, but that river ran red quickly. 1:30 on the clock, so close to the checkpoint. Euphoria, the clear favorites we thought starting out this tournament, but they're struggling.
Yeah, they don't have a whole lot to be able to break through this choke. It seemed like they were decently set up in the last, but the ultimate usage combined together did the majority. Now on the attack, though, still having that Galactic Legend available, having an Eye of Agamotto for themselves as well. There's a lot of potential for a team wipe here, but I think there's been a counter. You've seen that Invisible Woman ult just going to keep the majority of this defensive side alive. In fact, they will all still be standing. November 24 is even trying to battle and brawl up close, but that hasn't gone to plan. The first to falter in this, what could be the last stand for them. If they manage to take this over the line, it could all be done here.
Running down that clock, the name of the game. Euphoria, though, they bought themselves 2 picks. That's what they have to push forward on. Guys, having swapped, well, goodness gracious, having swapped to the Mr. Fantastic, the idea being you're reaching overtime, that ultimate or even some of the abilities can just remove players from the payload, but he doesn't get a chance to use it. Big play. That was their chance to contest back on the side, get the squids in. Instead, Namor's out of play. Big DPS removed, and the damage swings firmly in favor of the attacking side. It looked like they were up against the ropes, but they've come back swinging. NLE still with an Eye of Agamotto as well. Neko about to have ult online. It's no longer the Loki, but the invisible boundary will certainly help out. This is now putting the pressure back onto Rejects.
This is the thing. They almost managed to get it over that second marker. Euphoria's goal is to succeed where they failed. Yeah, this is that top rope coming in for NLE. A chance to drop down from above and really let that ultimate have the impact that's necessary. It's been utilized on the other side, but probably going to be countered out by the usage of that invisible boundary. Even still, ASD is going to be the first to draw blood in this fight. Another one coming off LNE now, and as they try to retreat, they fall into that backline player, into the person that's causing them issues. And just as the heal ult runs out, it is a wipe down, already eliminating every single player. A chance to jump right up close to the finale.
Oh, Jeff. They've heard Jeff. Okay, he's gonna get away. He's all right. There's no way you hunt Jeff down from that position, but look who came out to try and help him. Could have been dangerous, and instead it has given a little bit of charge towards the ultimate. Now Jeff's ult gonna be great for removing them from that point if we do hit the OT. That's gonna be very easy as well to farm up for guys. Plenty of heals put down in a very straight line. This is an opportunity, but they have to get to OT first. There's a minute and 15 to go, and the pick is immediate from ASD. The flank up the back is coming in, and it's Happy doing so much damage, cleaned up by his teammates. Devastating blow in the final hour as Happy snipes them out of the sky. This is looking like it's done and dusted. A couple meters between them and the championship. They've done it. The Marvel Rival Invitational goes to the side of Euphoria. They were 3-0 down starting this grand final, but they made it all the way back with the reverse sweep.
It really is one of the most insane things I think I've witnessed. We're in the very early stages of Marvel Rivals esports, but it literally came down to seconds That was it. Seconds on multiple maps, in fact. They had to get one of their first victories in OT in map number 4. They then had to climb back in 5 and 6. And then in the final map, map number 7, is where they take it over the line with, as said, a few seconds to spare, a few big ultimates, a few big decisions by these talented players. It is an impressive resurgence, and for this squad, well, I saw it in chat earlier, will they be one of the teams that never quite claims a crown? No, they won't. And second time around, it is Euphoria who are able to get themselves a championship.
Well, I don't know if he's been reading a lot of the real NLE Choppa's quotes, but, you know, from now on, I'm going to refer to this man as the real NLE Choppa. What a phenomenal play this guy has had. The second he